Today we are going to discuss about simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Step number 1, we are going to factor the numerator and denominator. Step number 2, divide or cancel out the common factors in the numerator and denominator. Now, to deepen our understanding, let us answer the first example, which is 14. Let me erase this first. 14x squared over 28x. So, let us going to find the prime factors of 14, and that is 7 times 2. 7 times 2 are both prime numbers. Now, after factoring 14, we are going to factor x squared. The factor of x squared are x times x over. Now, let's proceed to the denominator, which is 28. Let us look for the prime factors of 20. That is 7 times 2 times 2. The prime factors of 28 rather is 7 times 2, 14 times 2, 28. And since we only have x here with the exponent of 1, we're going to write down 1x only. Now, let's proceed to step number 2. Step number 2 is to divide or cancel out the common factors in the numerator and denominator. So, the common factors in the numerator and denominator are 7, 2, x, and x here. So, what remains, ang nabilin are only x over 2. Siya na lang nabilin o siya na lang po sa denominator. So, our answer here is x over 2. Now, let's have another example. Let's say I have here v squared minus 49 over 2v minus 14. Now, since our numerator has an exponent of 2 and 49 is a perfect square, let us factor this out following the difference of squares. So, the factors of v squared are v times v. And since negative is our sign here, the factors should be positive and negative. And the square root of 49 is 7. That makes the factor 7 times 7. Okay. In here, the denominator, our exponent is only 1. And the only common sa duha ka terms is the number. Walay letter sa second term. So, we are going to factor out ay lahang common. Ang pwede na to pagawas. So, we can put 2 outside. Now, we can divide 2v divided by 2. So, si 2v divided by 2, common si 2, pwede ma-divide or cancel out. What remains is the v. So, v goes here, and we copy the sign, negative. Now, we can proceed to this one. 14 divided by 2, that is 7. So, we can write 7 here. Now, since we have factored out the numerator and denominator, we can proceed to step number 2. Divide or cancel out the common factors in both numerator and denominator. The common in both numerator and denominator are v minus 7 sa numerator o denominator. So, sila itong cancel out. Now, ang nabilin are only 2 and v plus 7. So, rewriting that becomes v plus 7 over 2. And that is our answer. Okay, now let's proceed to example number 3. I have here x squared plus x minus 42 over x squared minus 36. Now, the first step is to factor out the numerator and denominator. Let's start with the numerator. Now, let's factor out the first term, x squared, x times x. And the last term, the sign of our last term is negative. That means the factors are positive and negative. Now, we are going to look for factors of 42 that when we subtract, the answer is 1. Since 1 ang kauban ni x. Why subtract? Because the signs in our factors are different. Lahi-lahi. Plus and minus. Positive and negative. Okay. Now let's continue. 1 factor of 42 is 7 times 6. And that is 42. But when we subtract 7 minus 6, that is 1. So the factors are correct. Now notice that the sign of the middle term is positive. That means, kung kinsay dako sa duha ka factor, siya may mag-positive. So, si 7, siya ang positive. Si 6 mao ang mag-negative. Okay. Now, let's continue with the denominator. I-factor nato si denominator. Ang denominator is x squared minus 36. Si x, na siya exponent na 2, and 36 is a perfect square. So, the factors of x squared is x times x, and 36, since 36 is a perfect square, we can extract the square root, and that is 6. So, kung iyahang square root 6, ang factor si 36 kay 6 times 6, that is 36. So, we can write, kani, let's make 2 parentheses, x goes here, another x goes here. Now that the sign in between the two terms kay negative, so ang atong factors kay positive and negative. And the factors of 36 kani. Another 1 6 here and another 6 here. Now let's proceed since we have factored the numerator and denominator. Let's proceed to the step 2, which is to divide or cancel out the common factors in both numerator and denominator. Now, looking at our factored form, the common denominator, the common factors ato numerator and denominator is x minus 6 silang duha. Si x plus 7 and x minus 6 dili parihas, so that remains. So, what is left is x plus 7 over x plus 6. So, that is our final answer.